Hello there, my name is Bill McKibben. I'm going to spend the next 350 seconds and not a second more telling you why 350 is the most important number in the world and what we're going to do about it at 350.org. I've got the most vital urban landscape in the world, the new city in Shanghai behind me here. It's a good backdrop for thinking about global warming. First, some science, just a little, don't worry. For all of human history, indeed for long before human history, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere was 275 parts per million. That's the normal level for human civilization. Then, about 200 years ago, especially in the West, we began to burn huge amounts of coal and gas and oil. When you burn those things, you release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and that carbon dioxide traps heat that would otherwise radiate back out to space. That carbon has been accumulating in the atmosphere quickly. At the moment, there are 387 parts per million CO2 in the atmosphere. Now, we've been worrying about global warming for 20 years, but we never knew exactly what the danger level was. We'd begun to fear in the last few years that we were already past it because we were seeing very dangerous things beginning to happen. All of a sudden, we were seeing dramatic increases in drought because warm air takes up more water vapor than cold air, and in flooding because once all that water's up in the atmosphere, it's going to come down someplace. We were seeing the quick spread of mosquitoes and with them dangerous diseases like malaria and dengue fever. We were seeing rapid melt of glaciers high in the mountains. Then, in the summer of 2007, almost all the ice in the Arctic melted. We had the Northwest Passage open for the first time in human history. This was such a shock to see half the ice gone across the Arctic that it caused scientists to reevaluate just how far along this path we were. In December of 2007, the world's greatest climatologist, James Hansen, came up with a new number. He crunched all the data and told us that 350 was the top safe limit for carbon in the atmosphere. Anything more than that, and the world was going to start changing quickly. As I've said, we're already at 387 parts per million, so that's a tough number. It's like going to the doctor and learning that your cholesterol is too high. You're at greater risk of stroke or a heart attack until you can bring it down. The planet will scrub some of that cholesterol out of the atmosphere with forests and with oceans if we stop putting so much carbon into the atmosphere. And that's what we've got to talk about now, from science to politics. For most of the history of industrial civilization, it's been the West, the United States more than any place else, that's been pouring carbon into the atmosphere. Now, as you can see behind me, the East is beginning to catch up. This is the first purely global problem, and it's going to take great global cooperation in order to make change happen. We have a little experience in forcing this kind of change. 2 years ago in the United States, a small group of us launched a project to organize public opinion around the United States. We organized 2,000 demonstrations in all 50 states, and when we were done, we had a real and measurable effect on the political system. We were demanding that the U.S. Congress agree to cut carbon 80% by 2050. And when our demonstrations were over, Barack Obama adopted that as his policy. We have some hope now that whatever the outcome of the presidential election, America will finally begin to take up some of its responsibility. But that responsibility needs to be global, so we badly need a global movement to do just the same sort of thing. We need to spend the next 18 months spreading that number 350, because luckily the UN is getting ready to hold a big meeting in December of 2009 in Copenhagen to come up with a new global agreement. If that global agreement is strong, if it respects 350, then we have some chance going forward. To make that happen, we need all kinds of public rallying behind this. We don't have the time to attack this problem one light bulb at a time. We need to do it one political action at a time in order to spread this number all around the globe. It's starting to happen. Just in the last few weeks, we've seen people who heard about this number 350 take out full-page ads in the New York Times, the International Herald Tribune, the Financial Times, with all kinds of VIPs signing on. But as important as those VIPs are, even more important are all the actions that are beginning to happen on the ground. The farmers in Cameroon, in Africa, who have begun to plant 350 trees around the edge of their village, the people who are riding 350 strong on bicycles around state houses in the United States, the youth in Delhi or in Sichuan or in many other parts of the world who are rallying, the churches that are ringing their bells 350 times. Think of some way to make this number real. Then come to us at 350.org and tell us what you've done. We'll spread it everywhere. Thank you.